Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to this live stream where we speak about what recommendations are you supposed to consider that Google Ads recommends you with. Are you supposed to look at every recommendation that Google suggests? What are these recommendations based upon? How do you define what recommendations are actually suitable to your business, and how do you decide what to choose and what to leave out? Now, if you understand what I'm talking about in terms of what Google Ads does, especially for your campaign predictions using machine learning and AI algorithms, gone are the days when everything had to rely upon your manual efforts, the changes that you do regularly, the bids that you increase. They're still important, don't get me wrong, but please understand that machine learning algorithms play a much broader role and much accurate role when it comes to looking at what data is being fed into the system and what data is being collected, and that is being put into use to eventually make decisions or predictions based upon what Google thinks is apt for your business. That's how these recommendations are present in the first place. Whatever Google recommends is there is a big misconception that machine learning is supposed to be really good, and whatever machine learning algorithms predict are supposed to be accurate. It's a big myth. Machine learning predictions are based upon the inputs that is being fed into the system from what you have done in your account. For example, if you have included a keyword which is not actually relevant to your business and it apparently got you a lot of views or a lot of clicks. Now, the machine learning algorithm understands or assumes that maybe this is one of the most important metrics for you, and it gives you predictions and recommendations based upon what it has seen so far. But what has it seen so far? What it has seen so far is things that actually don't matter to you, right? Now, if you go ahead and follow these recommendations based upon what Google has suggested, you're in for big trouble. So, what is being fed into the system is what is churned out of the system, which means if you feed in good data, if you feed in good activities, if you feed in good keywords, if you feed in accurate things that Google is supposed to monitor, that will eventually show up in your machine learning predictions. So what is being fed in is being analyzed, and that is what is returned to you in terms of prediction. So be accurate with what recommendations you apply. There is no hard and fast rule that you are supposed to look at all the recommendations that Google suggests you. You are not supposed to look at these things blindly. So pay much more attention to looking at what recommendations you're supposed to look at. Now, if you look at the recommendations here, now based upon your recommendations, unpause the campaign. I mean, it's a paused campaign, so it is showing you recommendations according to that. And it is also has made recommendations asking you to remove redundant keywords. Now, pay attention to this. Most of the recommendations that Google Ads suggests you with are either recommendations to increase your budgets. It is obvious, right? The more your budget is, the more number of clicks and impressions are achieved. Well, it may not always be the right thing to do, right? Because you're still in the nascent stages of your account. If you're somebody who is a beginner who has just started advertising on Google Ads, it doesn't make any sense to increase your budgets beyond a limit. So avoid those kinds of recommendations. Now, if you talk about recommendations in terms of bid changes, if you talk about recommendations in terms of new keywords to be added, new keywords that you have missed out on, these are recommendations that you should you should really look at, but don't blindly apply all the changes that you see. For example, Learn Google Ads is something that I'm looking at in terms of gaining more subscribers for my Google Ads course, right? Now let's see what the recommendation is. It recommends that there is a keyword that it wants me to remove, which is Learn Google Ads, right? Now, because it is redundant, which means I've already used this in some other ad group. It makes sense because if I add duplicate keywords, it will only kill my performance. So these kind of changes I can simply go ahead and apply. The moment you apply, the changes are executed and there is no going back from there. Now, monitor performance and improve your account on the go. Let's look at what these recommendations are. Now, try the new Google Ads mobile app. Okay, doesn't harm me much to try that. I can do that. Reach additional customers on partner sites. Now, this is something which you may want to look at. Now, when you create a Google search campaign, you're obviously by default opted into Google search and partner search websites. In my experience, I've seen that it may not always be a good option to go ahead and start doing these things. So basically, I am very careful when I choose partner websites. So this is a suggestion that I don't have to blindly look at, right? I don't have to blindly apply to this. I can make a decision looking at whether or not I want to look at doing this and take a decision accordingly. So these kind of things, be very careful, be very, very careful about what you apply. There, the bottom line of this video, if you leave this video with one great point to keep in mind, I would be very happy if you leave this video with this one thought. Don't blindly apply all the changes that you see under recommendations just because Google is giving you those recommendations based on machine learning algorithms. Machine learning simply amplifies what you feed in. You include a wrong keyword, Google looks at that data and it will suggest you actions based upon this wrong keyword. There is no need to blindly apply to this. If you put in a good keyword, Google is going to give you recommendations based upon that good keyword. Be wary of those changes. Don't blindly apply all the 100 odd Google keywords that Google suggests you to add. Don't look at blindly removing anything. Don't apply anything blindly. Please do your due diligence. The next video that I would be talking about will be in terms of what are all the recommendations that Google suggests you with, what can you and how can you approach each of these recommendations from the Google Ads recommendations. So please stay tuned. I will give you screenshots of what Google recommends most of the times and how do you make changes, not make changes based upon those things. I hope this video was helpful. Bottom line, do not blindly apply recommendations that you see, especially when it is talking about bid and budget related changes. Thank you so much. My name is Casey. Until next time.